Hi, this is Jared Wells with LearnSpeed.com. In this video, we're going to take a look at timesheets and timesheet types. Okay, so the first thing you need to do as an administrator set up your timesheets is go to the Admin tab, Sub-tab Configuration, and then from here, Timesheet Types. Timesheet types are the labels that we use to describe various pay rates that we pay our instructors or administrators. We have a number of these that are already set up. When we create a new timesheet type, we give it a name. We can give it a description if we choose, give it a rate, and default hours is used if there's when timesheets are created outside of sessions, what's the default hour? So it might be a 4-hour workday for a particular administrator or an 8-hour workday. But for instructors, we wouldn't use this default hour. You could just leave that as 0, as it will pull the hours worked directly from their schedule, from the calendar. Alright, so once we've created your timesheet types, the next thing we can do is go to the People tab, Instructors sub-tab, and let's go ahead and pull up a particular instructor's account here, George's account, and now we're going to look at timesheet types, the sub-tab here. We already have one set up. I'm going to create a new timesheet type by clicking on Add, and I'm going to pull in the General Tutor timesheet. Now, back when I set this up, I created the default pay for the general tutor rate as $18 an hour. This particular instructor, George, has an override rate of $20 an hour, so I can create custom pay rates for any particular instructor, counselor, or contractor here, and just go ahead and put in the override rate if it has one. But there's one more thing we can do here. We can also add a timesheet session type. Now, session types are the billable items, the things that we, when an instructor works with a student, they log session logs, and they use session types to define what the work was and what the rate we're billing the students or the clients, the parents that are paying for the services. So when we create a timesheet type, we can associate a timesheet type, general tutor, with, let's say, the session type, the private session type rate. What's going to happen now is every time George creates a session that uses the private session type, a timesheet type will automatically, or a timesheet will automatically be generated using this timesheet type, general tutor. And I don't have to limit this to just one. It might be that he has, actually let's put that one back in there. I can put private, but I can also put in, let's say, another one, let's say SAT. When he works private session types, or when he books a SAT session type, he will get paid the general tutor rate of $20 an hour. I'm going to save those. Now notice that this, I tried to save this, but it blanked. Now why is that? Well, one thing you have to be careful of is this, is if you already have a timesheet type that's already associated with a session type, it won't allow you to create a new one, because what that's going to say is that you're trying to create two different timesheets for the same session type. Alright, so let's go ahead and do this one more time. I'm going to put in the general tutor. And this time I'm just going to limit the timesheet session type to private. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and make that override rate of 20, and let's save that. Okay, there it is, general tutor, the timesheet, and private. Alright, let's go ahead and go to the calendar now. Now, as an administrator, I can pull up George's account here, and I can log a session. Let's go ahead and log one here with Jimmy. I'm going to add a session log. I'm going to put in the session type private. And the student's Jimmy. Let's make this George as the service provider. That would come in automatically for him if he logged in. Pick some subjects, where it happened, the attendance is present. Go ahead and give it some ratings here. And let's make him prepared. And this is a test of timesheet types. And I'm going to go ahead and save that. Okay, I've just saved that. Now when I go to the Approve tab, what I can see here is the session that was just created. George just created the session. I can view by using the rollover. This is the session I just created. So the administrator can review this. And if you notice that under the Timesheet tab here, under Approve, this is also the session that was just created, right? So this is George's timesheet. One general tutor hour was created in his work with Jimmy Smith. Now, I want to make this as easy as possible for administrators, so when the administrator approves this session log, not send that session log out, so it's approving this one. Now let's go to the timesheet window, and what we see is that timesheet was now approved automatically. This makes it very easy to manage. This means that when the session logs get created, timesheets for instructors get created automatically, and when the sessions are approved for the students, the timesheet is approved as well. Very simple. As always, if you have any questions or feedback, use the link in the upper right hand corner for feedback. Click on that link and put your title of the question that you have, or maybe an observation or a request. Put the description and change this from bug to request or user interface suggestion, and then submit that.